Miami has made it known that Jalen Ramsey could be, can be traded. Just curious from both of you if you'd be interested in reacquiring Jalen.
What are they going to say?
I know. I've had discussions with Miami, so we've discussed getting through the draft. I mean, I know there's a lot of nuances to that situation based on all the things that come with the trade, contracts, and things like that. So, not sure where they're at in the process. And what's interesting in this, a lot of teams are right now focused on the draft, but this is when a lot of teams reach out, not just Jalen, but oh, by the way, how things go in the draft, there's other players that could be available. So you almost come back to a second.
They're talking. We know this is not a drill. Snead has talked to the Miami Dolphins about Jalen Ramsey.
Free agency per se, get with your pro scouting staff and kind of figure out if trades are made and it's player for player, things like that. So that's all part of the process. So whether it being Miami and Jalen, I can't say there's a lot of teams with other players that I'll keep in-house.
Okay.
Sean?
Yeah, I mean, he's a great player. We know him very well. We know him intimately.
Yeah, coach.
We would certainly never rule out the possibility of that. But I think, like Les articulated, our focus and concentration is on this week's upcoming draft.
Yep.
There's a lot of layers that would need to be worked out with a player of his magnitude and some of the different things that accompany that. But you would never eliminate the possibility of adding a total stud and a guy that can do a lot of different things like he's continued to do, like he did here, like he did in Jacksonville, and like he's done for the last couple of years in Miami.
Let's go.
Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Okay. Well. Yes. Sean McVay and Les Snead acknowledged that a Jalen Ramsey return to the Rams is not out of the question. We are so close to the NFL draft. Could this trade happen during the draft day? Not unprecedented. Remember, a couple of years ago, the Rams traded for Troy Hill during the NFL draft. The Rams have had other corners return to them. I think of, off the top of my head, Darius Williams, right? Troy Hill, as I mentioned. There's precedent of, the reason why Ramsey left was mainly because of money. It wasn't because he wasn't a good player. And Jalen Ramsey has said he loves the Rams, loves the organization. We talked last week in the video that, we could see this happening, but who knows? Who knows what the Dolphins are asking for? But there's got to be a reason the Rams are having this conversation this close to the draft, right? I appreciate the question. I appreciate the answer. So this is just, again, very raw. This is me thinking out loud here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Jalen Ramsey could get traded to the Rams during the NFL draft? Their comments there would make me think they're going to wait to see how the draft plays out. And maybe the Dolphins want to wait to see how the draft plays out also. But, guys, I think... I don't want to put words in anyone's mouth, but if I'm reading in between the lines, Sean McVay and Les Snead were very careful there at what they said. And I think Jalen Ramsey might be coming back to the Rams again. I get excited about it. I don't know about you. Let's go to one more update here about the NFL draft. Les Snead and Sean McVay talking about this draft class of quarterbacks.
You talked after Matthew's restructure about looking toward adding his eventual successor as soon as it made sense. So without going into specific prospects, how do you look at this year's quarterback crop?
Ooh, good question.
I don't think I could truly answer that honestly.
Okay.
So I'll keep that internal how we view it. Yeah, I think it's interesting. The only thing I can add or any insight would be, I think when you prepare for a draft, there's however many other positions there are, and it can get pretty micro and nuanced, whether you're a star, whether you're out in corner, whether you're OLB, whether you're all those things. I do think all those positions you kind of evaluate in a bucket, and then you and if you're going to get down and go down the quarterback path, that's an entirely different bucket based on all the requirements it takes to, play QB in this league at a successful rate.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, Sean.
Gary?
Okay, Sean, no follow-up there. All right. I am interested in this NFL draft for the quarterback position, mainly because there's so much non-hype behind it, but at the same time, there's this hype of who's going to draft this non-hype class of quarterback, right? Obviously, Cam Ward, he's going first overall to the Titans. Then you have, what's going to happen with Sadhu Sayers. Sadhu Sanders. What's going to happen with Jackson Dart? Milroy, what's happening there? Some of these, late round quarterbacks. I could see the Rams taking a quarterback, but if they do, it'll be someone late that they're taking a flyer on. I don't see them prioritizing it early in this draft here. I'm talking like 5th, 6th round, 7th, below. I think they're they're obviously happy with Matthew Stafford as their starter. I think they're so excited about Jimmy G as their backup. And I think they're content giving Stetson Bennett one last year as kind of that third string guy and see what he does. If they were to draft a quarterback, then Stetson Bennett absolutely, his future with the Rams is in question for certain. So that's my thought. I'm going to bring up a clip here from yesterday's Ram presser from Matthew Stafford. He was asked about this here. Let's watch this one too, because I think this brings some more clarity into the conversation.
Then as the Rams enter the draft, chance that they take a quarterback who may be your successor. I know you've said you don't know how much longer you want to play, but have you talked to Sean about that possibility? And what's your mindset if the Rams do draft a quarterback?
I'm not going to play the hypothetical game with you, but no, I mean, to me, I'm worried about doing everything I can to be the best version of myself for this team. Whoever we draft, I hope they come in and help our team win. You look at it last year, our first 2 picks were guys on defense that made huge impacts on our team.
Yep,
so for me, I'm just trying to load this team up with as many good players as we possibly can. If a quarterback comes along and they feel the need to take him, you'll welcome them with open arms and try to teach them as much as I possibly can.
Let's go.
Thank you.
Let's go, Stafford. Class act Stafford right there. Class act Stafford. Yes, he knows his role is secure. He knows who he is. He knows he is one of the greatest NFL quarterbacks of all time. And if a young gun comes in there, he's happy to help him along, right? So interesting hearing, Les Snead talk about the quarterback position, to also Matthew Stafford as well. I really don't think the Rams take a quarterback. If I'm not a gambling man, but if I was, I would not put money on that. I think you know what? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think is more likely? The Rams draft a quarterback or the Rams trade for Jalen Ramsey by the end of the draft? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I would say Jalen Ramsey. That's my own personal opinion here. But anyway, that's going to do it for me. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. As always, go Rams, horns up, and peace out. Let's go Rams. Check out some of my other videos. If you enjoy Rams content, feel free to like and subscribe.